Yeah. What's up? What's good? What's up? What's cracking? What's percolating? What's really good in the hood? It's man Theo brother. Yeah, we in here. I look a little different. My wife, my bad. Let me go ahead and do this. I'm gonna do my best to try and untangle this. You know, when you got to all my lot brothers and sisters and everything, y'all know what I'm going through. Y'all know what I'm going through. What's up? I see y'all already in here. Oh man, let me go ahead and greet people. And to do that, we got to put our reading glasses on and everything like that. Cause y'all up in here. I see Ronnie J up in here and everything. Big Ronnie, what's going on? Hold on, man, y'all up in here. I want to say I appreciate it too. I really, really do. We in here for a good time, an entertaining time. I want to say not to be confused with a long time, but hell. I say not to be confused with a long time, but damn it, it is. I don't like lying. I don't really like lying and everything like that. So no, we got my brother alive and alert from the north side of the dirt. Be real up in the building. We got the Kimoyo King, president of the Black Panther fan group in the building. Groovy tonight. I really do like the way you groovy. Hey, really do like the way you groovy. And we got Big Ronnie in the building too. We got Big Ronnie. Yeah, we in here for a good time tonight, not to be confused with a long time, even though it could be simple. They could be similar. They could be one of the same. Yeah, let's go ahead and go over these topics. I see we got one. That's almost enough to have some fun, but you know, hey, y'all didn't think I was going to be on time. That's what it was. Y'all didn't think I was going to be on time. Let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's topics. Like I said, I think we got a great show lined up for tonight. I really, really do. Some things just, can we talk? Can we have a Tevin Campbell moment? Cha 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 cha. Cha 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 cha. Cha 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 cha. Cha cha. So before I get into tonight's topics and everything like that, it is Wednesday. What a week it was Wednesday. Y'all know I'm a huge football fan. Y'all do. SEC. That's what that is. SEC football. We ain't gonna shy away from it. And Paul Finebaum. Yeah, Paul Finebaum, SEC football analyst. Got shook up by the events a few weeks ago. Tragic events. Shout out to Plant Poppy. Did some good coffee. You know, politics, right? Republican Party. Cool. Politics has always been politics to me. Politics is politics, right? Right. But, you know, I don't know how serious, and I tell folks this is when I look at grifters or people that look like me to say crazy stuff. I don't know how to take your party seriously when you knowingly harbor, entertain, hang out with folks that don't give two damns about me. I don't know how to do that. I've never known how to reconcile that. I don't like me and you cool. We disagree in how to stop the offensive team from scoring, right? We disagree on that. That's a disagreement. But if you kicking a bobo, hanging out with somebody that would just as soon see me not be alive, I can't be your friend. Like, cause I see, so yeah. Bruce Pearl, holla at you. I don't know. I said it once before. It ain't his first time making comments. I don't know how he has a basketball team that's multi-ethnic with the comments that he's made. Soon as he made them comments about somebody, his team should have just looked one way, exactly like him. Paul Finebaum. I don't know. It's not the Republican Party. It's who the Republican Party has entertained ever since the Democratic Party chose to start entertaining the civil rights. Yeah. The Democratic Party said we need more votes. Thus, we got the Civil Rights Act. The Republican Party, which they'll be more than happy to tell you, black people used to be a part of, they chose to go after racists to invigorate their party. What they could have done was said, oh, you giving black folks civil rights and everything like that? Okay, well, over here in the Republican Party, we're going to say they deserve reparations. They could easily went down that road, but that ain't what they did. They didn't say, they didn't play big bank, take little bank. They ain't throw out the big joker. They said, no, let's get worse. That's free game for those that are Republicans. They like to say, we the party that freed slave. You're right. You also the party that embraced those who enslaved those just to get votes. You did that. And you've been doing it. You've been doing it. So with that said, it ain't necessarily because as we live, we got some liberal beliefs, we got some conservative beliefs. That's who we are. Folks like to paint us in the box and everything like that. No, we're beautiful hues of gray, if you want to think about it. That said, I don't know how to entertain your political party when you're fraternizing with the literal enemy. Now, you want to talk about the enemy within, that's it right there. A hateful segment in the population of the United States of America when it comes to certain other ethnicities in the United States of America. That's the enemy within. The Republican Party won't denounce it, but you got everybody and their mama want to embrace it. Oh, okay, Paul. Just understand, like with Bruce Pearl, when you tell me you are a Republican, you're interested in the Republican Party, and I've been keeping up with your track record, and you have not done anything in regards to denouncing the Republican Party's association with known racists. Well, Paul, birds of a feather flock together. Birds of a feather flock together. You get what you get. There it is. Paul Finebaum, ESPN, all that. No, I'm gonna go ahead and take my name off that. Yeah, let me go ahead and unsubscribe right now and everything like that, because I draw that line. It ain't the fact, Paul, that you chose the Republican Party. It's that you have not called out what's been wrong with the Republican Party since the Civil Rights era. And I'm of the mindset you were a child back then, which makes you culpable for what's going on in our country today. Yeah, that's how I look at it. Moving right along. Moving right along. Like I said, we got the Kimoyo King in the building. We got Groovy tonight. Yeah, Big Ronnie J, Professor Film Fan, Javon Bless in the building. Yeah, I thank y'all so much for pulling up. Sorry I can't share. I'm taking a long break from X for my mental health. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. I'm gonna tell you how to help you out. You ready? Go to X up under your thing. Don't leave no comment. Just copy the link from here. Go to X, share it, and come right back out. That's what me, Dale, and Kimoyo been doing. That's what we've been doing. We don't hang out over there. We go over there, drop a link, and leave. Ain't even doing that. Ain't even doing that. And shout out to Big Chad. Shout out to Big Chad. I am fasting this week. I'm not gonna tell y'all what I'm fasting from, but I am fasting this week. And we're gonna do something different next week. But one of the things that could have been on the table to fast from this week would have been social media. But understanding what we use social media for, we don't use social media to divide. No, we use social media to unite. So there you go with that right there. But yeah, I get it. I get it, Professor Film. My dog deactivated his account. Damn. Bro, do what you got to do to get that mental peace. I ain't even mad. I ain't even mad. That said, let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's topics. What if real time? We're gonna play a game of what if. Shout out to Rod Serling, Twilight Zone. Shout out to Jordan Peele. I hope y'all can appreciate. Hey, shout out to James Gunn. I hope y'all can appreciate what a brother getting ready to do. Yeah. Also, comics this week. Did y'all read Ultimate Black Panther? What about the Avengers 31? What about Green Lantern Corps 13? That's what was on my pull list. We're gonna have a little brief impromptu discussion about the 4 titles and what's going on and why you might want to check them out. Yeah, we're gonna do all that. Sports. What's going on in the AFC? Yes, we got football fans on here and everything like that. We're gonna talk about the AFC North. What's going on? Not gonna spend a lot of time on it and everything. Just give you some realistic expectations so you don't put no money down, lose your house, or get frustrated for no damn reason. Yeah, we're gonna jump up into it. Sports. What's wrong with what's wrong with the Ravens? I'm a football fan. I'm a Steeler fan. I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with the Baltimore Ravens. It ain't gonna take that damn long. If you've been following football, you're gonna know. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. Sports. Demercado and the Cardinals. Coach Demercado, but no, I ain't doing that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Y'all saw what happened. If not, we're gonna bring you up to speed. Sports. Rex Ryan on Shadeur Sanders. Him and everybody else. Mary Kay Cabot. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna definitely get up into this thing. And I'm gonna answer the question. Shout out to Mr. Ray Smith. I'm gonna answer the question that seems to have football analysts scratching their head. Why is Joe Flacco no longer QB1 for the Browns and now QB1 for the Bengals? Yeah, we're going to get into it. I don't know why. If y'all on Facebook, I have my Facebook page set up where we just going to talk sports over there. If we're talking social conscious issues, we're going to do that on TikTok. This will be the comic book, movie, superhero, entertainment channel right here and everything. But if you love football, come holler at me over there on Facebook. Come holler at me over there on Facebook. That's what we're making it do to do. Sports. Kyron Lacey from a different angle. Yeah, Kyron Lacey from a different angle. We already covered sports in regards to Paul Finebaum. I'm not surprised that he chose the Republican Party. I'm not. Like I said, we all got either conservative, not either. We got both of them, conservative and liberal beliefs. It's just the damnedest thing is you don't mind telling me that Charlie Kirk's passing bothered you. Charlie Kirk ain't input. You know what? No mind. We're gonna save it. Action figure news. Todd McFarlane going out with a bang. So all I'm gonna tell you, Todd McFarlane going out with a bang. If you like Todd McFarlane and you want to get involved in some action figures, you might want to get on over there. Also, GIJoe. Who might we still be missing as far as an action figure go? Remember now, representation, imagery, right? Talking about that, right? So who? Imagery, love, respect, loyalty. Who might we be missing from G? We're gonna talk about it. Also, physical fitness in the military. We just had a conversation. Well, somebody said some stuff. We're gonna talk about it. Physical fitness in the military, and we would tell you about my personal experience. I think all of us had them that played sports in high school and then went on to join the military immediately out of high school. There is a difference. We're gonna talk about it. Also, what else we got going on? Unquestionable superiority. What somebody's followers believe. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Disagreement in America, politics. It used to be, I don't want to do it that way. I don't know how we got here to where I want to put hands on you because I'm disagreeing with the way you want to do it. Yeah, we're gonna get into all that and everything. Let me make sure I greet everybody before we get the show kicked off in earnest. We don't want to be rude. We were taught in that. We absolutely were. Shout out to Anderson Butler, Freddie Mae Butler, Patsy Butler, and my beautiful mother, Paulette Butler. I want to thank y'all for the wonderful job that y'all did. All right, so everybody has greeted everyone. Let's start here. What if real time? I tried to be smooth with that one. Grand Madam Tarot, what's going on, Grand? My spiritual advisor, Grand Madam Tarot's in there. What if real time? What if I was to tell you, shout out to Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. This got a little Hydra, shield, twist to it. Russo brothers, Captain America, Winter Soldier. So what if I was to tell you that this Earth, we're going to call it Earth 1. World War I and World War II. Now we got stories of some soldiers when they returned back home, even though they were American soldiers, not necessarily being treated too well. And we got stories of soldiers from the country we were attacking on behalf of a group of people. Those soldiers was being treated better than American citizens. Now, I'm a James Bond fan. I grew up with James Bond and everything like that. I used to watch The Saint. Remember The Saint back in the day? The Saint, the CBS late night, The Saint. Don't do that. Don't act like I'm the only one. Remember the Avengers? No, not the comic book. Not the comic book. Not the comic book. The series. Remember we had Emma Peel. You remember that? Remember? Okay, all right. So you stay right there with me. Cool. Did I tell y'all to Stan Lee and Jack Kirby? They got Jewish lineage. They got a Jewish lineage. I'm not saying that to be a bad thing. I'm saying they knew some stuff I didn't know. They experienced some stuff I didn't experience. They had some first-hand story accounts of some stuff I ain't got. But I remember being a kid. You remember the comic books? Remember the comic books? They used to be the size of my chest. Remember the giant comic book? They don't make them no more. This back when Nick was a white dude, had white sideburns, the eye patch. Remember it? Greg Evigan, not with Greg Evigan, Knight Rider played. Yeah, she Hydra. And what was Hydra? Is Hydra known for doing? Infiltrating stuff, taking over stuff from within. Y'all ever heard me say that? Y'all ever heard me ask the question, is art imitating life or is life imitating art? I got a question. So Hydra, you know Hydra, I know Hydra. That would be Germany. Shield, you know Shield, I know Shield. That would be the world army. That's what that would be. Shield would be the Allies. Hydra would be the Axis. Shield was the agency responsible for protecting the free world. Hydra was the agency responsible for infiltrating, taking over, and controlling the world, thus it no longer being free. Did I lie? So I'm sitting up here, American citizen. You're an American citizen, I'm an American citizen. And we know America ain't perfect. That's what that is. Oh, we seen America try. You know, not always get it right. Okay, how you treated the Native Americans when you got over here, that was dead ass damn wrong. You gave them some land, I guess. Asian Americans, you incarcerated them. It's kind of like the same damn thing you're doing now. And you gave them reparations. So safe to say you're going to give the brown people some reparations and everything like that. And you're not going to do a damn thing for the black people. But we used to that. So we're going to get it out the muck. That's what that is. But the question I got to ask with all that history being there, how in the hell is America doing her best German impression? Folks get mad when you say stuff like that. Don't call me Hitler. You do Hitlerish stuff, you're going to get called Hitler. If you do some Ronald McDonald stuff, you're going to get called Ronald McDonald. If you sit back and barbecue all damn day long, we're going to wind up calling you Mr. or Mrs. Barbecue. It's based on what the hell you damn do. So nobody's calling you a fascist, a dictator, a tyrant for no damn reason. Why did you say Barack Obama wasn't from here? Because he had melanin in his skin. You not saying Barack Obama ain't born in America if he looked like you, a European. See how I did that? You thought I was going to say something else. Nah, I told you, not doing that color thing no more. So I'm looking at America. So you mean to tell me where we know just real world that women get great? We know that. We know that women get great. In this country where we know that women of color suffer more from pregnancy-related issues, deletions, than any other ethnicity in this country. We know that. 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 When we know that my mom passed away from tubular pregnancy, we know those issues exist. I'm trying to figure out how in the hell 52%. I don't know who the 2% are, but if I was a woman, I'd be checking for the 2%. 52% voted against their own health rights. I don't even know how we did that. Unless you, Madam Hydra. Mind you, Madam Hydra ain't trying to have no children. I guess I don't know how that happened. I don't know what your husband was telling you in the bedroom. I don't know what your man was telling you in the bedroom. I don't know. But damn, there was some infiltration. You literally voted against and you know women that if you're a woman, you know a woman that has struggled with her health in regards to pregnancy. You're a woman. There's proximity there. You having conversations that us men aren't privy to. I do not know how in the hell. I don't know. I know who it wasn't though. 52%, 52, 59. I don't get that. 52, 59. When we as a country are supposed to be moving toward everybody being seen as human, when we can spin the block and go back and look at Schoolhouse Rock. Safe to say J.D. Vance don't know a damn thing about Schoolhouse Rock. Donald Trump probably can't read, spell other than just write his damn name. But it's quite obvious that Schoolhouse Rock was wasted on Generation X and baby boomers. Clearly it was. Clearly there were other teachings being taught. Hydra teachings. And when I'm looking at 20-year-olds They're not embracing American philosophy. That ain't what they're doing. That's not American ideology they're embracing. That's German ideology they're embracing. Yeah, I know some folks don't want to call it. Well, if it walked like a duck, it quacked like a duck, it's a duck. Those are German ideologies, Nazi Germany. And every damn American that took them damn history classes, we know it. How did that get over here? Don't get mad if I call you Adolf Hitler and you out here doing Adolf Hitlerish stuff. You want me to call you Abraham Lincoln? Do some Abraham Lincoln stuff. You want me to call you Martin Luther King? Do some Martin Luther King stuff. You want me to use God and Jesus in the same breath that I use your name? Then do some stuff they would have did. If not, I can't do that. You're going to get called exactly who you are. Evil, inhumane, inhospitable, despicable, disgraceful, heinous. You're going to get called all them. Let me keep up with these notes. I don't know. No. You cannot tell me. There's no way in hell. I don't know how an American citizen voted for that taco. Unless you embrace his hateful, philosophical ideologies, which ain't no different than Adolf Hitler's. You know, they called Barack Obama a lot of things. They did. When he was running for office, you know they called him Barack Hussein Obama because what his name sounded like. You know what they never called him? They never called him Louis Farrakhan, nor did they ever call him Malcolm X, and they don't like those people because they know that's not his personality. They know that ain't him. No, they want to say he wasn't from here, but they couldn't call him evil. Only way they could connect him to evil is his name. Oh no, your boy is acting straight up like Adolf Hitler. And I don't know, we ain't that many steps away from being a police state. That's Nazi Germany. And you voting for it? 52-59. 52-59. 52-59. I don't know how you did that. 52-59, but I see it. You got folks around our children right now. Don't give two damns about our children. Paul Finebaum can say how much Charlie Kirk's deletion affected him. He said nothing about Ahmaud Arbery. Why you didn't want to run for office then? That was a young man in a neighborhood. He wasn't speaking evil. He wasn't promoting gun violence. He wasn't talking about, oh, this ethnicity, if I would see them flying a plane, I would be suspect. I would be cautious. Damn, Paul, you telling us you embrace all of his philosophies. And that's exactly how I'm not even going to get mad no more. It ain't even worth getting mad. It's more of a thank you. So, Paul, you don't trust my women. You think because that's what Charlie felt in his heart of hearts. And because of Charlie's passing, you now feel like you got to go stand up for America, where you and everybody else are telling me how you feel about me and mine. So it's safe to say every black NFL analyst, college football analyst, Paul Finebaum, you work with, you feel like got their job only because they're black. And I don't mind, dude. Matter of fact, the next time you have a radio show, I'm going to call your ass. Because that's exactly what you're saying. What you're saying is the only reason why women are allowed to participate in college football is because somebody took pity on them. You're saying they're not qualified. You're embracing the same sentiments that Charlie did. That means to me, you're no different than Charlie. In essence, I don't want you around our children. I don't want you or anyone who thinks like you speaking on behalf of our children. Why? Because you've embraced the mindset of someone who thought less, thinks less of me and mine. That's fine. You just can't have it both ways. So if I was you, you're going to get a phone call from Theo B. And I'm going to ask you straight to your face. So you believe what Charlie believed? That's a simple yes or no question. I believe you're going to try and tap dance around it. But at the end of the day, that answer is going to be yes. Then I, as an African-American father, I'm going to ask you to stay away from our African-American children. We do not need people like you embracing the mindset of people like Charlie Kirk around us, period. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Those hate groups come from the poorest places in the country. Yes, they do, Grand Madam. Yes, they do. I'm looking at Ghana and Toronto residencies right now. Grand Madam is wow, not wild. Wow that you say that. I had the blessing, right? I call it the blessing of my Uber driver today was from Nigeria. And I will share with the Rock With Me Nation what he shared to me. We talked about Burkina Faso. We talked about that. We talked about the new young leader in Burkina Faso. And what he said to me was this: find out your genealogy. Find out your genealogy. They are wanting, I'm telling you. So when folks tell me, and it's a lie, it's a self-hating lie, that I'm going to start throwing back in your face, you're no different than Steven from GIJoe. You're no different than Massa if you're promoting separation amongst your own, something they don't do, by the way. And the only reason why you're doing it, because you were born in America. They don't do that regardless of where they're born at. You are a self-hating individual. You need to wake up. See, that's the epitome of being woke. Find your genealogy. They want us back home. Now, I'm not going to share that he gave me some more stuff as to what's going on in Burkina Faso. He did. And everything ain't for everybody. Let me just say it like that, because when you know what they've been doing to Africa, Africa is now there are individual leaders in Africa making moves for Africa to be an independent continent. And that's moving some folks the wrong way. That is the richest continent on earth. We know that. They have a lot of resources there where they want us back home. So when somebody tells you that there is a separation, that is somebody that's ignorant or deliberately stupid, whether they are an African American or whether or not they are an African. They drunk the damn Kool-Aid. Do not listen to them. Find your genealogy, trace your genealogy. And the reason why he stated that is because when you trace your genealogy, you will be connected to the tribe that reminds you of you. You won't get there and they won't necessarily look like you or move like you. From the way he was telling me, and I'm pretty sure Grand Madam Tara will be able to speak to this better than I can, when you trace your genealogy back to Africa and you get that tribe, there's a spiritual connection there. Soon as you get them. That's what he was telling me. And to the brother, man, I just want to thank you. I get so damn sick and tired of us turning on one another as a people, as an ethnicity, as a nationality. I am so damn sick and tired of the propaganda. It makes me sick. It turns my stomach to hear a brother bashing another brother just because they're not born in the same damn. It makes me really want to do some of the most disgusting stuff to another individual to hear you repeat, regurgitate that negative nonsense that no other ethnic group is regurgitating because you stuck on stupid. I don't care whether you're a comedian. I don't care whether you're a content creator. I don't care if you're a radio show host, podcaster, politician, cab driver. I don't give two damn. As long as you're promoting division in the diaspora, I really want to slap the hell out you. You're worse. You're worse. You can meet it when you can. Yeah, you can. You're worse. And you're part of the problem. And I denounce each and every last one of you. That's exactly how I feel about it. So I'm gonna keep moving. If I were to move anywhere after, I'm afraid I might end up like Nick Cannon. If you can afford them, don't wind up like Nick Cannon. Then you can't afford them now, Professor Film. I ain't mad at that now. I ain't mad at that. I ain't finna judge you like that. I can't. But you know, you biblically speaking, you supposed to be able to afford all of them. You can't treat them no different. You can't treat them no different. So hey, you like it, I love it. Moving right along. Comics this week. In essence, real time, America has been infiltrated. just so we know, just so I can round that subject back up, that talking point. America has been infiltrated. We ain't moving like America. I know y'all like, damn, Theo. I know. We're not moving like America. The United States of America. Anytime you hear somebody talking about the enemy within and them over there, and they're talking about fellow Americans, oh, we're not united. But then this person is following the playbook of Adolf Hitler. Yeah, I called him Adolf Hitler, and I ain't taking it back. Tell him to stop acting like Adolf, and I'll stop. Comics this week. Ultimate Black Panther 21. Y'all need to go get that. Y'all need to go get that. Let me go ahead and give you a quick recap of Black Panther. Ultimate Black Panther 21. We get T'Challa. We get Eric. We didn't find out what's going on. We're shooting and everything like that. And just off the rip, are we really going to make Shooty a sympathetic villain? Yes. Off the rip. We're making Shooty a sympathetic villain. And damn Eric and Aurora free-spirited. Eric and Aurora free spirit. And did y'all hear Eric talking that talk? Hey, man, if I was you, I'd work on your marriage. This is my favorite take on Killmonger. This is my favorite version of Killmonger right here. My dog shoots straight from the hip. Like, hey, bro, they do it off panel. And I'm thinking because Brian might not have either knew how to write it, didn't want to write it, or just wanted to leave it up to our speculation. So T'Challa told Eric he smashed Aurora. That's all panel. But when you come back on panel, you got Eric talking about, I don't own her bed. Speaking of which, your wife wanted to give me the cookies. You might want to holler at her. All right. That's that. Avengers 31. So Avengers 31, long story short, the comic book review or that 15-second video will be dropping. Long story short, we now, Nathaniel Richards, who looks like Tony Stark, is Meridian. Right. We get this long, drawn-out story about how he came to be Meridian, how he created the Twilight, whatever, the Twilight Court. They're supposed to be his version of the Avengers so that they could help him with the missing moment. They was always going to suck at it because they always kept failing at it. So he got, because him, coerced through lies, deception, the Avengers to doing it for him. That's what that is. So we spent issue 31 telling the reader how Cain is also Meridian. I don't necessarily know if anybody cared, but that's it. Also, that's a different artist, if I'm not mistaken, in Black Panther. I don't think that's not the guy that we had before. I don't think that's the guy that we had before. Artwork definitely looks a little bit different. Moving right along, what else we got? Absolute Batman 13. Dang. We got Absolute Catwoman. Bruce is a big fella. I know I'm covering it, but y'all gotta let me know y'all want me to drop the comic book reviews. Other than that, I'm just reading because I'm a Batman fan. But Bruce is juiced up on some Bane, some Venom, if you will, and we get another shot of Killer Croc. That's about it. We just get some more story added on. Green Lantern Corps. Make sure. Green Lantern Corps 9, issue 9. Well, you know how they made us feel in issue 8. You might have did like this a little bit in issue 8. You might have did like this at the end of issue 8. Issue 9, we good. If you understand what I'm saying, let's just say our boy back. Let's just go ahead and say our boy back with somebody else. I ain't gonna spoil it. But yes, John comes back the very next this issue. Yeah, nice little hairstyle and everything like that. Nice little head sculpt is what it be. But John comes back with somebody else. Yeah, he does. John look happy in a little bit. Yeah, y'all gotta check that out. Y'all gotta check that out. Yeah, I'm good with that. Didn't even spend that much money. Didn't even spend that much money. Let's keep the party rolling. Let me keep up with these notes. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. If I were to move anywhere in Africa, I'm afraid I might. Oh, you said that. I got that. Grand Madam, let's see here. I want to make sure I'm keeping up with these notes. You can feel it. Grand Madam say you can feel it when you meet a Ken person. I believe that. He got me. Actually, and shout out to Kimoyo King, my brother Dale and everything like that. We've been having them conversations about chalking up the deuces. We have. And my daughter that's 24, she's entertaining the idea. Because with me, it would be like, I'm either taking my entire family, I'm not going. And when I say my entire family, my children. So let me just say this so folks understand what I'm saying. Because you never know who listening. My children gotta come. And as an extension, so that I know my children are good here and here, those of you affiliated, associated family members, as in mothers, stepfathers, father-in-laws, whatever, you need to get your ish together, because when Theo chalk up the deuces and dip, everybody dipping. That way I can have peace of mind. Yeah, we ain't got to be getting along. We ain't got to be talking. You just need to be in Africa with either your father, your first cousin, or your stepdad. Don't get too damn. We ain't got to talk. You just need to be over there in Africa with me. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Grandma Tara says, she said her family's talking about the same. Yeah, ain't nobody. Listen, that's the damn thing right there. Folks think you give two damn. No, listen. We was over there minding our damn business. You needed help. You've been needing help. You still need help. You act like you don't, but you do. We ain't got to be over here. You can have the National Football League. You can have the National Basketball Association. You can have hockey. You can have Major League Baseball. You can have Hollywood. You can have these effed up politics y'all got going on. you can have that. You can have these one-sided, stereotypical damn stories that you got going on. You can have this. They got Bollywood over there. Can you imagine what we would do with our talent? Yeah. Could you imagine if we just, all the black actors, excuse me, all the African-American actors and actresses, rappers and singers, and we just left? Everything. We ain't leaving no recipes behind or nothing. We just get up and go. Do you know? You know what? See, here we go. Theo, don't do it. Here we go. Shout out to Jonathan Hickman. Say, Theo, now y'all don't be paying attention to Jonathan Hickman. I think Jonathan Hickman there's more to Jonathan Hickman than what we know with John. Man, shout out to Jonathan Hickman. Say, Theo, shout out to Jonathan Hickman. Y'all don't be paying attention. I'm gonna say some of us ain't as woke as we pretend to be. You the age of cocoa. You didn't see it. Let me help you out. You have this demographic of people, this number of people, right? Even though they go about their business to take care of the world, they're not perfect. You got some good folks and you got some bad folks in this demographic. You had the good folks always going out there fighting a good fight to keep the bad folks from doing some stuff. Now, these are what's the proximity crimes, if you will. There's a lot of symbolism here, right. You got a demographic not liked because they're different. And regardless of what they do, folks really don't trust them in society. You even have the government putting some rules in place for these people. You see how I'm not using no color? Right. You got Jonathan Hickman come along. Jonathan Hickman come along and he say, these people decide to get up and leave. I knew what he was doing with that damn story. I said, ooh. And you have folks saying, yeah, we don't need y'all no more. Well, if you been keeping up with stuff, that sounds like something somebody would do. Because we got folks, Theo, don't do it. We got herbalists disappearing all the damn time for whatever reason, because they keep coming up with stuff. And when I say coming up with stuff, they keep coming up with cures and stuff. I would stop broadcasting what you done came up with a cure with, especially when you see what's happening to folks that's coming up with cures, free cures. Stop telling folks that. Yeah. You need to keep that information to yourself. You know how folks keep disappearing that come up with stuff to conserve energy, save energy, make energy free? The age of cocoa. I don't know what we saw in that, but they literally left. Imagine, if you will, the majority of African descendants leaving wherever they are now and descending upon Africa. Contemplate that for a second. Think about that for a second, because we're spread all over. Imagine, and Africa, don't get caught up in what you see on the map, the picture. It's bigger than that. Imagine, if you will, the vast majority of descendants from Africa returning to Africa. Just imagine all of their knowledge, all of their gifts, all of their talents. Hell yeah, every other continent would be pissed. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You can't even ask AI, Google, what that would mean. World power would shift. And Jonathan Hickman put it in comic book form. Jonathan Hickman really told us the story of Africans returning to Africa in a comic book. African descendants returning to Africa. He just used the X-Men to do it. That's all he did. That is all he did. And I'm like, y'all didn't see that, huh? Keep up with these notes. Grandmother, she says her family's talking about the same. Dang, we referring to folks as head sculpts now. 3 of my translucent friends want to move to Africa with me. One of them wants to grow on my land. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. That's my thing for me. So yes, returning to the motherland, that's definitely there on the table. So sports, Grand Madam Tarot, I got to talk to you, Mr. Ray Smith. He is at church this evening and everything. This is for all my football fans. Football fans. I talked about this. Y'all come check out sports over there on Facebook. That's what we're talking about, sports. So there's something going on. Y'all been watching football, specifically in the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs are struggling. The Baltimore Ravens are struggling. The Bills just lost. The Browns signed, the Bengals just signed, y'all know, Joe Flacco. Folks are surprised. They don't know what to make. They don't know what to think. What's going on with all this? The championship window. You've heard about it. Whether or not it was used in regards to your team or not, you heard about it. The championship window is about 4 or 5 years. About 4 or 5 years once your player is out of college, in the league, they're supposed to be in their prime. Now, if you have enough players in their prime on your team, you should be making Super Bowl runs. But stay with me. You Gen X, you baby boomers. The Buffalo Bills made how many Super Bowl runs? Back to back to back to back to back. They never won. They fell off. If you're a Baltimore Raven fan, what you're experiencing right now, this is the fall off. If you're a Baltimore Raven fan, this ain't the defense that you've had before. Terrell Suggs ain't out there. Ray Lewis ain't out there. Ed Reed ain't out there. Hell, Rob Woodson, who came over from Pittsburgh, he not out there. The big nose tackle, Samoan, that used to sit in the middle of the D-line, he not there. That was the Ravens' defense. By and large, that defense was built. The Ravens were a run-heavy, defense-first team. As I said yesterday, who are the 2 Super Bowl quarterbacks from the Ravens? Trent Dilfer and Joe Flacco. Them sound like Hall of Fame quarterbacks to you? Ray Lewis, Hall of Fame? Absolutely. Going if he ain't there already. Ed Reed, going if he ain't there already. Terrell Suggs, going if he ain't there already. Rob Woodson, I think he there. That's not the Ravens defense. That's not. And as much as I like Lamar Jackson probably has maybe 1 or 2 more years in his prime. But he's eating up the contract, the monies with the Baltimore Ravens. You got Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry probably has 1 more year left in his prime. You didn't rebuild your defense. What you want to do is get cute on offense. And it never been the Ravens' MO to success. It ain't. You just needed to have a halfway decent quarterback. When you got a halfway decent quarterback and your stars are on the defensive side, you get to make runs. You get to make runs for a minute. 4 to 5 years. After 4 to 5 years, that championship window starts to close because folks then got old. Folks cost too much money. You ain't got 1st and 2nd round draft picks on your roster, not high ones. No, you got a mediocre roster, and that happens to every football team. Now, that's that side. If you've been whooping behind for 4 to 5 years, Well, there's an opposite side to that. If you've been losing for 4 to 5 years consistently, you have high draft picks, and you still can't go on a Super Bowl run, it's because as we're looking at the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns, the organization sucks. So that's what's going on with the Baltimore Ravens right now. Honestly, Lamar Jackson, he lost a little bit of weight. I don't know why he did that, because he wanted to run more. He's not the runner. Derrick Henry is the runner. As Lamar Jackson gets older, those muscle issues are going to become more and more frequent because he's relying on his legs as part of his game. Harbaugh better start hiring better get some offensive linemen in there to protect that quarterback, or he gonna wind up leaving Baltimore. Let me keep up with these notes though. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. We talking a little bit of sports. We can do that. We're flexible on this channel. We love football. Let me see. Saving my blood pressure all season till we get to the most important game. Understood. That's why I don't follow football to the playoff. Okay. Lamar doesn't have any more left. He's got weak ankle now. Yeah, grandma. Yeah, about that. Now tell him says every mineral in Africa is vibranium, considering how valuable they all are. Absolutely. Grandma Terrell says I can see the cycle of change for the Ravens. Lewis and Reed were the icons. Yes, absolutely. It's no different than when we talk Super Bowl runs. This is what's wrong with the Chiefs. How long the Chiefs been running stuff? About 4 or 5 years. Okay, well, somebody getting old. I know I'm older than I was 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. Hey, you listen to my brother Daryl. Who they got to throw the ball to? What that offensive line look like? What that defensive line look like? Yeah, that's what happened. You ain't drafting high no more. You've been whooping butt for 4 to 5 years. Come on back down to earth. They call it parity for a reason. But let me see here, because I want to make sure we keep the party rolling. Now tell them says saving my blood pressure all season till we get the most important game. I definitely understand that. I would like to know who you consider to be the most important game. Did y'all see the Arizona Cardinals Sunday? Or did you see what transpired? Just one time. I said this on Facebook. I'm gonna say it here. I've scored some touchdowns. Whether we talking recreation or whether we talking organized, I've scored some touchdowns. I have. And my thing has always been, I just want to be able to stand in the end zone with the football in my hand. Like if I'm gonna spike it, I'm in the end zone spiking the football. It ain't never been in my DNA just to drop the football. I don't know. Maybe dropping to me is too similar to fumbling the football. But I just needed to see it one time. I just need to see it one time. I love the way LaDainian Tomlinson used to score. He always scored like he'd been there before. I'm gonna get in the end zone, get the ball to the official. I just need to see one time somebody running free to the end zone. One time, free. And they either drop the ball before they get there or get it punched out before they. How in the hell did you start celebrating before you got there? I just need to see it one time. One time. And because we Gen X, baby boomers, we roast folks. We Jones on each other real hard. Like, oh my God, you can't do nothing stupid in our culture. We gonna talk about you. It's this day and age of modern technology. We gonna create memes about you. Oh my God, you can't do nothing stupid. I get it. Replay officials should have been. You know what? We ain't even having no conversation about no replay. If you just after you score, you hand the ball to the official. That said, the coach's conduct after the player did that. You can be upset with another man's performance. You can. You can let that man know that you're upset with their performance. I don't necessarily know if you need to be yelling at that man when you do that, cussing at that man when you do that. I definitely don't know about you putting your hands on that man if you do that. Shout out to James Harrison, Debo. Debo played linebacker, outside linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Went over there, played with the Cincinnati Bengals for a little bit, then came back over to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Y'all remember Debo? Y'all remember when they played the Cardinals in Super Bowl? Crazy, because we're talking about the Cardinals right now. Remember when he caught that ball on the goal line? 99-yard, right? Debo. Debo said y'all had to get his bond money. And I asked myself, I said, Theo, what would have happened if that would have been you? And I'm a nice person, a good person, right? A good person. I played the game. I've had interaction with coaches. I played in high school. Then I did that thing that some of us do as adults, play semi-pro football, you know, where you got to go get your pads and everything like that. There was this coach. I didn't necessarily, hold on, wait a minute. My fault. Wife needed me for a second. But I'm playing semi-pro football, right? Me and the coach ain't necessarily seeing eye to eye, right. I'm open to being coached. I am. You don't get no better unless you learn, right. What I ain't subject to do is being berated like a child, and I'm a whole grown ass man. No, we not, because I don't think those things are necessary to get your point across. And as a coach, I've done it. You don't need to belittle somebody to get them to lock in. You don't. Well, this coach, he said something, and I didn't like it. And he said something again, and I said F you, and I meant it. He looked at me like he wanted to square off. I looked at him in front of my teammates like it could go down today. This in Tallahassee. I ain't care. Now, mind you, what I didn't understand is why he felt like he was going to be able to beat down somebody who had on pads and he had on coaching gear. It can be what it can be. It's what I'm saying. Now, what wound up happening is folks said, Theo, chill out. What Theo said was F him and F you too. Yeah, so I don't, we men. That's all I can say is we men, and you need to learn how to convey your displeasure to a man without putting your hands on said man, unless you open to hands being used. Hey, I ain't saying my brother D Real is pulling back up. What's going on, big bro? Let's see here. Cat and company are having problems because there's too much film out there on the Chiefs. Not everybody knows their moves just about. Listen, it ain't. Mind you, y'all probably think that Theo, you just a Steelers fan. I am, but I'm also, I see what we got going on. Did you hear me pick us to win the Super Bowl? No. I didn't even pick us to win the division. I didn't. Y'all saw me and Daryl do that show. Second, yeah, we should definitely be in the playoffs. But I didn't. No, I ain't seen none of that. Keeping the party rolling. Rex Ryan. So Rex Ryan knows nothing about this, and I'm going to do. This is when you learn how you can be a racist and what systemic racism is. I've heard since I've been living, you can't be a racist if you black. And I've heard the justification behind that mindset is systemic racism because you can't enforce it. That's not a true statement. You can't enforce it on the scale somebody else can. If you're at a basketball court and it's 9 people of color, African American descent, and 1 person of European descent, if the 9 people of African American descent want to hate on that European person, that's racist. Now, if they bully him on the court, change up the rules on the basketball court, they are enforcing their racism on him. They already don't like it, right? They don't like it. Now, because they're in power, they're able to instill rules on the basketball court that make it hard for him to compete. They can do it on the basketball court. It ain't making it nowhere else. So, with that out there, if you don't know what it's like to suffer systemic racism, you need to shut up. In essence, if you cannot speak on what an African American is going through when people are unfairly targeting that African American, Rex Ryan, you need to shut up. See, Shadeur Sanders, what he's suffering right now is systemic racism. Now, am I saying I believe Rex Ryan to be a racist? No, I believe Rex Ryan to be ignorant. Because he speaks as though that's not what's going on with Shadeur, which quite a few folks that don't look like Shadeur do, is they act like what Shadeur is going through is normal. It's not. Shadeur is suffering from people that are either A, jealous of his father, his accomplishments, jealous of him having a father like Dion and his own individual accomplishments as Shadeur Sanders. Then you have people that don't like Dion because of Dion pigmentation and Shadeur's pigmentation. And Rex, you are old enough to know better. The only reason why no one liked your father was because they didn't like your father's personality. Had nothing to do with your father's ethnicity. And therein lies the difference. So when you speak on someone that looks like Shadeur Sanders, you and anybody else, and you want to tell that young man to just shut up, and you want to say, son, you might, as old as you are, want to run that by somebody that don't look like you first. Or you wind up sounding stupid. Or some people gonna call you a racist. Now, I don't believe you being a racist. I believe you being an ignorant ass because you don't know any better. Quite a few of y'all that had that microphone put in front of you, don't know anything about sensitivity training, anything like that. Shut up. Shut up. Don't say nothing else. Don't. If you got to go there, don't say nothing. It's very, very irresponsible. Don't nobody want to hear that from you. Keeping the party rolling. I'm still keeping up with these notes. Let's see here. Fats, and I tell them. Keeping the party rolling. Where are we at? All right. Mr. Ray Smith would love this one. We still on the Shadeur Sanders train. I told you we talked about this a little bit yesterday over there on Facebook. You want to catch me talking sports, WGTP Sports over there on Facebook and everything like that. Shadeur Sanders, there's a lot been going on this past few weeks. Shout out to Mr. Ray Smith, my man on the ground when it comes to the Cleveland Browns. Bars. A lot has been made about Shadeur Sanders speeding. Say that one more time. A lot has been made in regards to Shadeur Sanders speeding in his vehicle, just like a lot was made in regards to Shadeur Sanders miming. I'm just going to tell you, you can't please. It's going to be some folks you can't please, regardless of what you do. Well, did y'all know that Myles Garrett got like 8-10 speeding tickets? Because as much as we talk about Shadeur Sanders, he is QB3 or QB2. But now Myles Garrett, the perennial all-pro at defensive end, did you know he had speeding tickets? One of them, excuse me, one of them 100 miles an hour. Wrecked his car. Myles, stop. You ain't got nowhere to be in that big of a hurry. Stop. Stop. That's all y'all. All y'all, stop. You ain't got nowhere to be in that big of a hurry. Stop. The thing is to get there safely. Not what time you get there, just long as you get there. Anyway, Myles flipped his car. Yeah, Myles flipped his car. I ain't hear that. I ain't hear that. You listen to Mary Kay Cabot and some other folks out there with Cleveland and everything like that. You think Shadeur was the only, by the way, he now has a chauffeur. You think Shadeur was the only one speeding out there like that. Nope. That ain't how that's working. He ain't the only one out there speeding. Moving right along. Action figure news. Now something we can get into. We didn't did that. We didn't talk sports. Hopefully you got what you needed up out of that segment and everything like that. Action figure news. Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane. Well, big shout out to my brother Daryl. Shout out to Kimoyo King. Jermaine, what's going on? Big Noah, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, Todd McFarlane has been busy. He's been making it do what it's gonna do. And we be having fun. Me, my brother Daryl, Kimoyo, be off in the cut over there and everything like that. Talking about what our plans are. Kimoyo got that nice color blue in his house and everything like that. House is coming along right along beautifully. But yeah, Todd McFarlane, if you are an action figure collector, you know we are. Here's what we got going on. We've been talking to each other about Comic-Con. There is a DC Comics Guardian Red Platinum Edition. Guardian should come with 2 head sculpts, as Kimoyo alluded to, because we know Mal Duncan was Guardian as well. We only got the 1 head sculpt. Crazy. We just not gonna get that. That's crazy. Let's see what else we got here. Make sure. Todd McFarlane. We got that comes to us from Bleeding Cool magazine, by the way. Let's see here. We also have Blackfire, Starfire's sister. They are up with the digital rendering of her, and she looks okay. Action figure looks okay. I wish Todd McFarlane would do a little bit more diversity, variety in his female body sculpts, but hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. We're looking at that. My brother Daryl talked about the Cassandra Cain. That's a nice action figure. The Cassandra Cain version of Batgirl is absolutely a nice action figure. And Big Lob, if you are a GIJoe fan, like Theo, you collect GIJoes. I do. I don't collect all of them though. You know I don't collect all of them. So it's granddad was in the Marine, was in the Army, Marine Corps. Now I just like what I like. Anyway, Big Lob is coming out. The basketball player with the rocket launcher. Big Lob is coming out, tank top. I don't necessarily know how I feel about that because I'm sitting up here like, I mean, I get it. It's a toy. 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 I just don't know who going out in the field with a tank top, rocket launcher, and no head cover. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Am I gonna get him? Yes, I'm going to get Big Lob. I'm gonna get him. I just how I put that in the Army. Y'all see my action figures? My military action figures look just like that. They have a very, very military aesthetic look to them. I don't know what I'm gonna do with Big Lob. I don't. Just a random dude with a Anyway, I'm gonna come back to these notes. I'm just telling you, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. Trust me, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna do the action figure reveal and everything like that. I just stand right there with my mother being a police dispatch officer back in the day. Hasbro is finally making Hasbro GIJoe Classified that police officer available. I think I realized what made that police officer look suspect. You're like, Theo, I'll tell you. It's the boots. It ain't the riot gear. It's the fact that you literally got that dude with boots on like he looking for trouble in the first place. He ain't got just the pants come down, cut, and You got that dude with his boots, with his pants tucked into his boots. And then that hat that he wearing, I don't know. When the last time you seen a police officer with their cover on? No. Dead ass. I'm talking about like out there in the streets. When last time you seen one with no? And the cover that it got on looked like something straight out the damn 60s, 70s with the Three Stooges and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, his visual aesthetic is all the way off. Will I be getting it? No. Told you, I got the Valorverse Riot Gear Trooper. I told y'all, Bobby did his work around a long time ago. Bobby said, no. I got the Riot Gear Trooper over here. I ain't gonna put no logos on it or nothing like that other than Action Force. And then I got the Riot Gear right here. You can get the two and combine it and have a riot. But am I gonna put a badge on it? I ain't doing nothing like that. Shout out to Bobby Valor. Woo! Let me keep up with these notes here. Only time I see a cop just like that was in the game. I'm that. Shout out to Big Jermaine. Yeah, I ain't seen it like that. We got LJ Panther just pulling up. What's going on, Big LJ? My brother Gray pulled up as well. I got that cop just for the head sculpt. You know what? See that? I ain't mad at that. You see what we got to go through to get head sculpts? And you know what? You gotta be a African action figure. See how I did that? See how I did that? See, I told you I was done with the color thing. Yeah, because ain't nobody that don't look like me gonna be able to come up to me and use their color no more. I'm telling you right now. Going forward from now till I leave this earth, all I'm like, where you from? I'm from America. No. That's not where you from. You're not Native American. Where you people from? What you mean? My people from Idaho. No, before your people came to America, where you people from? That's my verbiage going forward. And I'm telling folks, if you just, when they say when you know better, you do better. Stop using the N-word. Stop identifying with a color, because that stops them from being able to do it. Because we know where we from. Now, let me just go ahead and say that. We might not know where at specifically on that continent, but we know damn good and well we come from that continent. That's what that is. And some folks, let me just say this. I don't know why some of us act like we're ashamed of that continent. Programming is real. Anyway, well, they know they're not from here because they regurgitating what Blumenbach and Lieberman said. Well, if you ain't from here because you regurgitating what one of your ancestors told you, then damn it, where you from? It ain't here. It ain't here. Dutchlands, Scotland, Ireland, Dublin, Australia, Ukraine, Norway. It ain't here though. It ain't here. You got to be able to tell them, yeah, we do that. We gonna listen. Make them start answering some stuff. Great pull up, speak to everybody and everything. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. So just to let y'all know, like I said, Gray, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all. That makes sense. I looked at it. It looked, you know what I'm saying, like, but you know, when I look at it, because I'm picking up what you're putting down, I'm like, yeah. Because it would, here we go. Because I know how Kimoyo, my brother Daryl, feel about the action figure and everything like that. Here's what I can say. In the grand scheme of things, it is an action figure. What police officer do we have? You know how we say we got Wakanda at the house? We ain't got one law enforcement officer at the house. Now, we got a couple of doctors. we literally got doc. We do. We got some scientists. We ain't got one. It wouldn't hurt. Hasbro, y'all can give me some of this. It wouldn't hurt to have, because we ain't got to put all the gear together. It's all that stuff to make it. But we need at least one police officer. We got the Kingpin. We got Hammerhead. We got to have one dude in uniform. Woo! Oh, man. Y'all got me over here. Listen, y'all got me over here laughing. Let me make sure I keep up with these notes. This is why I love doing this. Y'all give me a lot of energy. It is 8:53. We've been here since 7:30. My brother Daryl is dropping his comic book review at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So we got to make sure we getting on up out of here and everything like that. Let me see. Every day I forget about GameStop points. You know what? You ain't by yourself. You are not by yourself. I forget about GameStop points myself. What else we got going on here? So yeah, I like this one. Shout out to all my military brothers and sisters out there. Shout out to all of y'all. We ain't got to agree on every damn thing, but shout out to all of those who have taken that oath. We had something transpire this weekend, and just the arrogance of folks who are cowards, tyrants, cowards. As Steve said in the first Avengers movie, you don't have what it takes to make the sacrificial play. Your integrity, your intestinal fortitude doesn't run like that. I had the dishonor of witnessing a pampered, spoiled, enabled child address grown-ass men and women. A pampered, spoiled, enabled child who has never done what those whom he was speaking to have done, address them in a manner unbefitting of someone who's supposed to be the Secretary of Defense. Never took the oath, never took the pledge. And he wants to have a conversation about physical fitness. All right, let's play. Now, while Pete can say what he wants to and the generals can't say anything because they're still in the uniform, I can. I would tell you the same damn thing that my Marine Corps recruiter told us when he was getting us ready for boot camp. I am in what some might consider the best shape of my life at the time. I played football in high school all 4 years. Uncle Sam doesn't give a damn. Uncle Sam doesn't give a damn if you play football. Uncle Sam doesn't give a damn if you play basketball. Uncle Sam doesn't give a damn if you play baseball. Uncle Sam doesn't give a damn if you wrestle. You're not in military shape, and you don't find it out, Pete, your sorry ass, until they take your ass on that 3-mile run. Until they tell your ass to drop down after that 3-mile run and give them some push-ups. That's something your lame ass knows nothing about. When they tell you when you get done with them damn push-ups, get up and get them pull-ups. You don't know a damn thing about that because your spoiled, enabled, pampered ass was at home. How dare you? How dare you and that taco eating dude you follow behind? How dare you, that taco dude, and every damn American that ain't had what it took to take that damn oath, embracing that bullshit ass mindset. Disgraceful. Not worthy of being led. Not worthy of leading. And anybody who would follow you would be following themselves to their doom. You're sorry. You're a sorry ass excuse for a human. Both you and Donald Trump. I said it and I ain't taking it back. You're disgraceful. You're despicable. What I want to do to you is both disgraceful and despicable. I know it. That's me looking into the abyss, and I would still refrain from doing it because I'm better than you all day, every day, twice on damn Sunday. This my live, this my video. I know YouTube is doing what it do. Y'all two ain't shit. And it should never come to that when it comes to American politics. In American politics, it's no different. Team USA basketball. The goal is for America to win. I don't know what good it serves for the 11 people on the team to be fighting, bitching, complaining, and throwing each other up under the damn bus. I don't think that's how you win the damn gold medal. But you would listen to folks who have no idea what team sports looks like because they're cowards. They're too afraid to play team sports. They're afraid to get hit. They're afraid to do anything except run their damn mouth. Well, you play team sports. You've been a part of a team. Tell me what team wins with, and they bitching at each other. What team goes on a dominant run and they keep arguing at each other, deleting one another? Help me out because I'm trying to figure it out. No, it don't happen. It don't happen. And it's way too many Americans in this country feeling like that's the right path. No, that ain't the right path unless that's the path you're looking for destruction. That ain't the right path. Disagreeing in politics, that's a matter of should we use, what's the word I'm looking for? We got a cake. Do I put chocolate icing on it or do I put Dutch chocolate icing on it? That's the disagreement. The disagreement don't come to me and you squaring off. We trying to win the cooking contest, right? We trying to win the baking contest, right? Right. Well, we can't do that if both me and you laying on the ground bleeding out. I'm just, that don't work. Folks want to think that that's work. No, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. And any leader telling you to hate your fellow American is not a leader. That's somebody working for Hydra. You heard what I said. Pete would have gotten that work. They don't understand when you on a team, you out your different. You put your differences aside. Let me see what we got here, Big Jermaine. The ones that be ashamed of that, be them FPAs. And listen, I don't. And shout out to you, Big Jermaine. I'm going to apologize right now if I offend somebody. But stupidity is stupidity. I heard a comedian, a young lady, not gonna mention her name. I like her, but you can tell she's dealing with some baggage. Even though she's talented, she distrusts men and she believes she's from America. That's fine. You can be from America. You're not black. What the damnedest thing to me is somebody telling me they are American, but you're speaking American English. What's your tribe language? That's me saying you want to do every damn thing else but be from Africa. That was the other thing. I couldn't do anything today but thank the dude from Nigeria for sharing his knowledge with me, for sharing Nigeria with me. There are so many of us that want to denounce it. If you're not from Africa, cool. There's nothing wrong with you being from America. What tribe? What tribe? Because if you're telling me you were here before Christopher Columbus came here, then those were Native Americans. They got a language that's not English. Why don't you speak it? They had a religion that's not European. Why you don't know it? Stop saying that because you sound stupid. Because me, I'm going to ask you, what tribe? Stop calling yourself black. You're not black. You're using lingo established by two races, and based on their lingo, you're not black, you red. Which makes that even worse because here you are, a red American, and you don't know a damn thing about your people. You don't know the tribe. You don't know the language. You don't know the culture. You don't know the religion. You don't know the spirit animal. You don't know a damn thing other than you want to say you were here before slavery got here. That's entirely possible. I ain't debating that. But the fact you don't know a damn thing about your people that were here before Christopher Columbus got here, you just want to say something. It's way too many of y'all being irresponsible with that. Way too many of y'all being irresponsible. If you were here before Christopher Columbus got here, why you don't know what tribe you belong to? If you were here before Christopher Columbus got here, your language is still being spoken. Yeah, see, that's the other damn thing. You really telling on yourself. Your tribe still exists if it wasn't wiped out. Your culture still exists if it wasn't wiped out. Yeah. Folks in America are still speaking Native American in 2025. You telling me you Native American. Why you don't speak it? Y'all gonna stop that. Y'all gonna stop that. They gonna, when you ask what tribe, language, birth, exactly. And folks get in their feelings when you do that. Well, you the one said it. So when you're a free black American, you telling me you ain't got nothing to do with Africa. Okay, well, you're not black American. You red American. What the dude name is? The Let's Slide, the Mink Slide musician and everything like that. What's his name? Well, bro, you're not black. You red. You red, which is the damnedest thing because you are a Native American who tried to be an R&B artist. That's our culture. You're an R&B artist. You're a Native American who tried to be an R&B artist. I want you to think about that for a second. But you're not a free black American. You're a free red American. Yeah, that's what, because you say your origin does not start in Africa. It starts in America, right? Right. Then you're red because you're still using that color trope. You don't want me to call you red don't use the color. But if you're going to use the color to signify who you are, then you're not black, you red. And I need to know what tribe. Kyrie Irving, though, which is kind of bass backwards because he didn't have respect for his father's side, which is the African American side, even though he had respect for his mother's side, which was the Native American side. So. Let's say Jermaine say Malcolm X rolling over in his grave. I just like to ask some real questions. I don't, you know, as you know, not tell them say I ask difficult questions. I ain't mad at you. I had a cousin one time. He got mad. Of course, he got mad when I said if Michael Vick was as smart as Peyton Manning. Then when I say smart, football savvy wise, nobody would be able to stop him. Of course, my cousin is from Camilla, Georgia. And in Camilla, Georgia, anytime you talk about stuff along racial lines, folks get triggered because they ain't dealt with the traumas of that. But when we talking about stuff like this, I don't. If you say you here, because folks here, it was black folks in America before Columbus got here. You're using Lieberman and Blumenbach's terminology to describe. You're using the terminology from two white people who literally invented race to describe the people that were here before Christopher Columbus. You see how stupid you sound. No, those were Native Americans. See, we're not using color. Those were Native Americans. You say folks was already here before Christopher Columbus got here? Cool. Those are Native Americans. They already had a whole society in place before he got here. And that society, the remnants of that society, still continue to this day. So if you are saying you're descended from folks who were here before Christopher Columbus got here, I'm not pushing back. As Big Jermaine says, I'm going to ask you questions because you shouldn't have a regular name. You should, my name is Gerald. See, that's a European name. German, if you will. Why? Because my folks got bought over here. My damn name wouldn't be Gerald if I was in Africa. That's European as hell. Do y'all not know we had a vice president named Gerald? Gerald Ford. Gerald. That's my first name is old and as American as apple pie. Gerald. Well, you can't have that name and your culture still exists in this country. And I ain't even gonna use the names because I don't know and I don't want to get in no trouble like that. But you ain't got no European name. You ain't got no European name. Your first name don't sound nothing, look like Gerald, nothing. No, that ain't what that is. Stop that lie. Stop that. See me. Skin complexion, trace genealogy back to the port right there on Florida. I'm like, God damn. Right there, huh? So I know. Now, I don't know what happened once I got here, other than somebody along the way whose last name is Butler purchased me and mine. I look like I've been cut with something. I do. I know. There's a reason why Christopher called natives Indians, not Africans. And I know what Big Jermaine just said gonna make some folks feel some type of way. No, if you from America, you got a culture. Why you not like, you ain't got to go with Africa to get your culture. No, your culture right here still in America. That don't make you black though. That don't make you black. No, your culture over here in America, you red. Because you using that. You either red or Native American. You can't be both. You can't be both. We're not gonna do that. You're not gonna say, "Oh, I'm black and I'm Native American." No, the hell you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You red and Native American. Unless somebody did like this, you know. No, you red. Not doing that. Stop that. Start spreading lies. Learn to start spreading some knowledge. Theo, there are many people who are both red and black and don't know it. Some native languages are extinct because they were forbidden by law. Got that. Understood that. They can still research it. How we sitting over here, we got Xhosa. And that's the other thing. With it being in place, you can still learn it. There are people still, Kyrie can still go back to his tribe. Still speak that language. And you're right. Some folks don't know. I'm not pushing against that. Like I said, you're gonna know. But if you know better, you do better. If I'm able to sit up here as an African-American male of 57 years of age and sit up and say, Xhosa Swahili, I need to learn some other stuff and everything like that. I ain't no different, no better than the next person. You say you both Native American and African-American, then you can still, I'm of the mindset there is, because you're not the only Native American here. There are descendants, survivors of Native American tribes. You got more access than I do. Now, I've been trying to get us to learn how to speak Xhosa for what, 4 years now? I can't find enough of us interested in learning a language from the other from the motherland so we can sit here and be fluent, because that's how you become fluent in another language. You got to have somebody to talk to. All we got is Molo, Mowini, Kosi. Since the first Black Panther movie came out, that's what we got. That ain't enough. That ain't enough. Where we at? That ain't enough. But hey, I digress. We about to get on up out of here. It's 9:13. We got a few more minutes before my brother D-Real pull up. I'm about to call her tonight. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Let me make sure I go over what we came here to discuss tonight. Let's see here. What if real time America has been invaded? Secret invasion. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I said it. I meant what I said. Yeah, America has been invaded. We ain't acting like America. We acting more and more like somebody else. Comics this week. Go check out Ultimate Black Panther 21, Avengers 31, and Green Lantern 9. Especially if you were feeling some type of way about the ending of Green Lantern number 8. You go check that out. Absolute Batman 13 gives us our first look at Absolute Catwoman. Absolute Green Lantern number 1. There is a reprint that's out there if you missed that. Sports, what's going on in the AFC? You got the Baltimore Ravens, you got the Cincinnati Bengals, you got the Cleveland Browns. I know what I want to tell y'all in regards to the Cleveland Browns. That was the general owner's decision. Folks are out there trying to figure out why Joe Flacco is playing with the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to tell you, based on the conversation with Mr. Ray Smith, the conclusion I came to. And I'm saying it right here, right now. The conclusion that I came to, Kevin Stefanski, Dylan Gabriel is his quarterback. He drafted him. That's who he wanted. The Cleveland Browns get off to a, 1-3 start? Joe Flacco ain't giving the returns. Well, like I said, Kevin Stefanski wants to play Dylan Gabriel. The general owner of the Cleveland Browns, he's the one who picked Shadeur. There is a power struggle going on right now in Cleveland between the general manager and the coach. Now, with Joe Flacco gone, because they don't really know how this came about, because you really don't do trades in a division. Saw how that whole thing worked out with the tailback from the New York Giants over there, Saquon Barkley with the Philadelphia Eagles. We don't normally do that. We do what the Giants did with Daniel Jones. You normally either you definitely trade them out the division. If you can, you get them out the conference. Why? So they don't come back to haunt you. Well, the Browns get off to a 1-3 start. Kevin Stefanski wants to interject Dylan Gabriel. He moves Joe Flacco to QB2. This keeps Shadeur at QB3. The general manager ain't stupid. I'm of the mindset, and all they got was a 6th-round pick for Joe Flacco. He's going to a team whose offensive line is just as worse, if not worse-er, than the one he just left. A team who has no semblance of a running game, which the Cleveland Browns did. I'm of the mindset the general manager made that phone call, Cleveland Browns general manager, hey, we can give you Joe Flacco. Y'all need a quarterback? Yeah, we got Joe Flacco. What you want for him? Just give me a 6th-round pick. Why would they do that? Because if Dylan Gabriel doesn't stick the landing, this is all on Kevin Stefanski. And mind you, Kevin Stefanski, no different than the coach at the University of Texas, is supposed to be a quarterback whisperer. He couldn't get it right with Baker Mayfield, and he's achieving success in Tampa Bay right now. Right. Well, if Dylan Gabriel does not stick the landing and Kevin Stefanski has to put in Shadeur Sanders, that's QB2. That's QB2. That's QB2 who everybody in that building, aside from Kevin Stefanski, realizes it. Well, if Dylan Gabriel, I'm telling you right now, that leash ain't long. 17 points a game is not going to cut it. Dinking and dunking down the field is not going to cut it. Calling plays, obvious plays that hide his deficiencies as a quarterback is not going to cut it. If Shadeur Sanders steps onto the field this year, this is Kevin Stefanski's last season as a coach with the Cleveland Browns. Because he will have failed with his draft pick. And the GM going to give him a lot of rope. A lot of rope. Dylan Gabriel is 5-something. He's 5-something. This ain't Oregon, where you got an unfair athletic advantage. This is the NFL, which stands for not for long if you ain't physically equipped properly. That's what it stands for. Well, you got to play Pittsburgh in the next few weeks. That dinking and dunking is not going to work. It's not. It ain't. Kevin, you're going to get that young man hurt. And it's going to be your fault. Listen, I'm out. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. We are at the 1 hour and 47 minute mark. Let me go down here and make sure I've done my due diligence as a host. I want to make sure I greet everybody that pulled up, still in the building and everything. We got 9 people watching. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Flacco and the Bengals go together like pickles and ice cream. That's nasty, Grandmaster Terrell. That's nasty. Kimoyo King said Gabriel gonna get got outside. Listen, I'm sitting up here, I'm praying for the dude. I'm like, bruh, Alex Highsmith is supposed to be back when they play y'all. There's nothing wrong with Teachey. Oh man, listen, this is what I like about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm pretty sure Grandmaster Terrell, any Baltimore fan, any Baltimore Raven fan will be able to appreciate this. What Mike Tomlin did this season, he did what the Ravens have been known to dominate with. He said, I'm putting everybody on defense. I'm going to get me a decent quarterback, get me a decent offense coordinator. We finna hurt people. That's how Philadelphia won the Super Bowl last year. You just need somebody that can throw the football, get the hell out of Dodge. When trouble break down, don't turn the ball over. That's all you need. That is all you need. And you got a stingy defense. I know Buffalo lost, but we also know that Buffalo has had a defensive attrition in the past 2-3 years. We know that. So, I'm up out of here. Y'all go do what y'all gonna do. Relax or whatever. We got about 10 minutes before my brother Dara come on and everything like that. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. This has been a blast. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't done so. Share the video. We rocking and rolling. We back on. I had some stuff that I had to take care of, which had my mind other places. But we back on schedule. So that said, in the meantime, in between time till next time, we do this again. Take care of yourselves. Don't get caught up in the nonsense. Don't get caught up in the drama. Remember, folks, even though some folks would tell you different, we're all humans. We're all God's children. That's what that is. So be that which we say we're gonna be that shining example. Let them know what love really is and everything like that. Don't let them turn you into them. That's said in the memory of the late great Don Cornelius and Chadwick Boseman. Till next time, next Wednesday, God willing. Tomorrow, comic book reviews. I wish each and every last one of you love, peace, and so we out.